Coming up on today's episode.
We're going to take a little trip. This is going to be basically a trip of my goals for my bicycle. Now, the bicycle is still in the living room. I do have the pump in there to pump up the tires. I've got that battery that I'm using for the radios. You remember I bought some time ago with the charger and such. So I'm going to use that to pump up the tires on the bike. And, you might look outside and say, okay, Doug, why are you inside? This is a beautiful day. It is a beautiful day. But I believe the temperatures are in the 40s. And there is a stiff breeze blowing as well. And as such, I don't think this is the time to do it. I know from riding motorcycles in the past that I am very aware of the conditions that I ride in, and it has to be warm enough to where I don't get cold doing it. And I know the speeds are not the same as they would be with a motorcycle, but they are still somewhat present there, and so as such I want to make it sure that it's something I'm going to enjoy, and I think I want to give it every chance that I can to be enjoyable or be a happy occasion. So that's the situation there. Now let's go down to the street. I had just got back from unloading groceries. That's why my car is parked in backwards. And I'm not going to be listening to the radio. We are going to... Now, first thing I want you to notice is the flatness, basically, of the course that I'm taking. I will note any significant hills that I will be having to maneuver. But as of right now, looks like we've got a little train action going on here. This is a eastbound train, I'm sure. Well, how long it'll take, but we'll sit here and wait on it. Now, obviously, there is a little bit of a grade going across the tracks. That's not significant. You have any kind of speed build up at all, you can coast up over that hill. Well, like I said, this little grade here going across these tracks. Now, one of the things you got to watch is when you're riding motorcycles or bicycles, you have to kind of hit that. I don't know if you notice that guy going across, but you got to hit these tracks just right, or you'll flip. They will flip you. Motorcycles not as bad as bicycles, but you got to kind of go straight on them and to be able to get across them safely. Now, there's another road I'm going to be eventually going down, and I'll show you or tell you about that too. But you can see this is all pretty flat, and this is again, you see the traffic. Of course, it's backed up because of the train, but here's another track here. Now, this one's not too bad. There's very seldom any trains on it, and it's more head on. You can just hit that and go down the road pretty good. Like I said, this is there's a little bit of a, you can see it in the picture, I think. A little bit of a grade here for this little hump here, but not much. With the 21 speed bicycle, you're not going to have any problem, I don't think, going around this. And again, like I said, once we get down here to the roundabout, I'll try to point this out. There will be a crosswalk, and you'll see it where the crosswalk is. I'm going to be turning left and going that way. Oops. Guess I better pay attention when I'm doing. But anyway, this crosswalk here, that's where the bike path goes. If I can get down to it. There you see the crosswalk there, where the truck's just coming up on now. But that's where you're going to be able to go around and go to the left, because that's actually the bike path. You can see it went right there too. But like I said, it's over there to the left. A little bit difficult to see, but I think you can see there's the path over there. I think you can see it. But like I say, it's on the left side. You can see that's where the goes up the hill there towards the. Now that's obviously going to be a grade. I hope it's not as bad as I think it will be, but you know, you never can tell. And like I said, once we get up here to the overpass, you'll look to the, well, you can't see it, but that's the train tracks underneath there. And they go a long way. Like I say, the bike path has its own little separate thing there, so I can set up my tripod over there. And again, this will be the major hurdle for the after you come down off of the overpass. You get some speed build up on this bike path over here, and you should be able to pretty much breeze around the rest of the track, I think. I hope. And that's that. So the first goal was getting to the overpass. Second goal is coming on around here, and you see the bike path again is over to the left. You can see it fairly easily. It's pretty flat. I ain't gonna say it's perfectly flat, but it's not bad. Not bad at all. So, happy about that. And so there you go. Now, when we get up here to the turnoff, I'll point that out as well. People walking on the bike path. That's a walking and a bike path, I guess is what you call it, but there's no dedicated bike path out here, so that has to be the bike path. A little bit of a rise there, but you know, these little gradual slopes and things are not that difficult to maneuver on a bicycle with 21 speeds. I mean, you just, if there is a little bit of a hill there, you downshift, you go on. I mean, it's that simple. And so, like I said, that's what you do. But again, the bike path is still over there. It turns into a sidewalk down here pretty quick, I think. Yeah, you can see it over there. You get up around these houses, that turns into basically a sidewalk. And there's where it comes into the sidewalk. And we're going to be turning left here. And this is where I would go, down through here. A little bit of a rise there, not much. Not much of a sidewalk here, so we'll be on the street. This does have lined off bike paths. You can see them lines there. This is not the best street in the world, but it is what it is, as they say. Like I said, you come back around here, and I'm going to put my thing down there. And turn here. So Seymour is pretty flat. I mean, there's not very many hills on here. Traffic is a little bit, depending on the time of the day, I guess. But traffic can be very, again, there's another bike path, or they don't keep it very clean. But it is what it is. And we'll go around here. And another little rise, but again, not much. These are not what you call hills. These are just slight rises. Not a big deal. So this is again my second goal. There's another bike path. And of course, Marley here has a bike path on each side of it. Line's about wore out, but it's there. And we come on down again. This is pretty flat. Little hill, a little rise going into Emma Drive, but pretty much flat too. Like I said, there's a little bit of an incline going up Emma Drive, but not that much. Again, it's not bad. And so, like I said, once we get to the end of Emma Drive, we're home, and that will be the end of my second goal. And the final goal, like I said in my previous video, is riding out to my daughter's house. Now, that's going to be a little more challenging, obviously. I'm pretty sure I can do this goal, first and second goal, without using the battery at all. I might have to use a little bit going over the overpass, but so I think this is it. This is home. All right, so now, as you can see, I've made it back home. The loop that I just made we'll flash that up on the screen because I didn't watch my mileage on it, and I'll use Google to figure out what it is, and I'll flash that up. It's not that far, but again, I think if I can get out as far, and the reason I made the first goal to the overpass, that's going to be my worst part right there, is getting up that overpass. And if I can make that, I think the rest of it should be okay. As far as, and like I said in the video, I don't think I will have to use the battery at all, other than maybe at the overpass getting up there. I'm going to try not to, obviously, but again, that's the whole thing is that. Now, as I mentioned later on in the video, you'll see that basically I want to ride around Seymour quite a bit, and the trip, my ultimate goal trip out to my daughter's house, the 10-mile one-way trip, is going to probably be in the spring. I doubt very much that I'll find a good enough day from this time on until the spring to ride out that far. Like I said, today it was cold out there. I did get back. I think it had reached 50, but again, that's with the wind blowing and everything. And like I said, you're riding. If you're riding a decent clip, 10, 15 miles an hour, that's pretty good wind hitting you in the face. And if, like I said, I had a coat on, but at the same time, there's extremities there, your hands and things like that. They get pretty cold quick. So again, trust me, I rode motorcycles for years, and I just can't get out there and ride when I'm uncomfortable. It just doesn't make any sense. I see these guys going past the house, and there's snow on the ground. They're riding that motorcycle. I think that is the stupidest thing I've ever seen, but that's their choice. That's nothing to do with me. So, like I said, this is what I've come to realize. Now, I'm going to make this part one. The trip out to my daughter's on the next part is going to be a little bit longer, obviously. and I'll prepare you for that now. It's going to be, I think the trip out there driving out usually takes around 15 minutes, so it's going to be a half-hour video because all I did was turn around and come right back. But again, like I said, it gives you a good indication, I believe, what type of trip this is going to be. And as such, I think, from what I saw today, I don't think it's going to be that bad. Especially if I start riding around Seymour and get used to the bike and I'm able to stay on the seat without much pain. And that's my main goal is that. To be able to ride the bike without having pain, because those other seats kill me and I can't ride with those at all. So this new seat, I'm hoping, will be the answer to that problem. And if it is, I think I can enjoy cycling as a hobby, or whatever you want to call it, exercise. Call it whatever you want to call it. It's something I enjoy doing, and like I said, when I was a kid, all the other kids would go swimming at the local swimming pool in the town we lived in, and I would stay home and ride bikes. I had no interest in swimming. Like I said, to me, it was more fun to ride up and down the street on a bicycle, even with nobody around, than it was to be with all my friends at the swimming pool. It just, like I said, that's just the way I am, and so can't help that, I guess, and that's just the way things are. So, anywho, I'm going to end this here and let you guys get back to it. I don't know when I'll post the second part of this, but it will be within a day or two, probably of this one. I'm going to release this one tomorrow morning. This is Wednesday, like I said, the 20th, as you can see on the screen there. I'll release this on Thursday morning, so you can watch this and let me know what you think. Again, I'm thinking people that ride bikes are looking at that like, well, why is he having so much difficulty actually getting out there? That's an easy ride. Well, yeah, it is for people that are used to it, but I'm not, and I need to get used to it. And I want to get used to it, and I would like to be able to just get on that bicycle. Like I said, if I need to go to CVS, pick up medications or whatever, go to the post office, drop off a package, whatever it is, I want to be able to hop on that bicycle and go. Because number one, it saves gas, wear on the car. I mean, there's no sense to me, if it's something you enjoy, I mean, unless you really got to be in a hurry to get somewhere, But if it's something you enjoy, why not do it? And that's the way I feel about it anyway. Naturally, in the winter, I'm going to be driving the car because I'm not going to get out there in the snow on the streets. But anywho, like I said, the one of the other things I wanted to mention is the camera, new camera mount that I bought. You may recall the one I got won't fit on the handlebars, the wide section of the handlebars. And the new one I bought will hopefully fit there, and it is in Bensenville, Illinois, wherever that is. I'm sure it's probably close to Chicago, but that's where it seems like all the Chinese stuff comes in for me anyway. I think Bob's comes into New York, New Jersey, and places like that, but mine comes into there, and then it comes here. So it's been there a couple of days already, so it should be hopefully here within the next day or two, and I can get that installed on the bike as well. I wanted to get that bike done completely, and now that I've got the little 12-volt compressor in the house, and I'll be able to pump up the tires and get that all ready to go and get the new mount on it for the camera. And somebody had mentioned that it would be, I think it was Don, I'm a junk collector, that said it would be really shaky, but I don't think that GoPro, I think it's pretty stable. It has that stabilization. I think it'll be okay with that. I'm hoping anyway. And if it's not the case, well, we'll figure out something else to use. He had said something about wearing a camera like a police cam, like they use what do they call it? Body cam. Something like that would you could put on loop over your around your neck, and then just do it that way. That's a possibility if the other doesn't work out, but we're going to hope that it does. And I'd rather use the GoPro because I think it's a much better quality picture. So I doubt very much, in fact I know, the first trip out to the overpass I will not be taking the camera, the video camera, because I'm not gonna. I just want to do that. I want to make sure I can do it. Once I'm sure I can do it, then I don't mind loading the camera up and doing all that stuff and doing all that. I'm going to try my first ride to get out there to the overpass. I'll take a little break and look around out there, see if some places I can maybe set up my camera, tripod, and things like that, and for future reference. And then once I rest a few minutes, I want to go on about my way, and I'm going to go try to make the second part of the loop. And you've seen the loop now. It's not really that bad. It's most of your hills and rises there are sloping, or gradual, whatever you want to call it. And like I said, coming off the overpass, you get some speed build up there. You can make that next little rise pretty easily. So I'm not going to kill myself doing it either, though. I'm just going to have a nice ride, and like I said, I think it'll work out just fine. And if I don't get up that next rise or whatever hill comes up, if I can't get up, I can walk a while. It's not that big a deal. Like I said, it is something I want to do, but I want to do it in a way that it's not going to kill me. And so, as you get up to my age, I'll be 73 here next month, and like I said, I know that's not old these days, but again, it's when I was young, anybody who was 73 was way over the hill. But like I said, times have changed a little bit, and that's not considered that old, I guess, nowadays. But at the same time, you're no spring chicken, and I think I've said that many times. So I'm going to get off here. You guys have a great day. Thank you so very much for watching, and we will see you